how did you increase the deservability in your own eyes, Janani?
This is actually a tough one. I think everyone goes through transition phases when we are an individual contributor to becoming a manager, from manager to a leader. And then in leadership, there are multiple levels again. It's not about the literal levels of titles and designations, but there is a certain level of seniority that you bring in, experience and maturity that you bring in, right? So number one, it is about how others are treating you. Number two is how you create your positioning rightly. I think that's what I would say from a deservability standpoint, right? For instance, many times I've found myself and many others also, we believe in ourselves lesser than what others might believe in us. There are some people who will say, hey, I think you can do it, just go do it. And then I'm like, oh, really? Can I do it? I'm not sure. I think people go through that quite a bit, and that itself brings down deservability. And bringing in the factor of gender again, I think women typically tend to see 100% fitment of something before they go for it. Let's say you're applying for a job, you could say, okay, will I fit 80% and beyond? Only then I'll even apply for the job. And it's a very female way of thinking, and I think that itself is a good acknowledgement to say, okay, if that's the way I'm naturally made, then how should I flex myself, alter myself, so that I don't lose out on opportunities that I might actually deserve. So one is acknowledgement of the factor. Next is to say, okay, there are 3-4 people around me telling me that I might be able to do it. Then pause and say, am I capable? What are areas where I think I should be working more hard on? And then finally saying, I'm going to go with a leap of faith and then say, I'm going to pick up this opportunity and see how it works. I think that's the way to increase deservability. Go show up in multiple places, to learn from other role models, male or female, right? You just learn from that and then talk to people who will energize you. I think that's also another thing I have tried. Finally, I do a lot of affirmations to myself in a future state, right? Like whatever I want in future state, I write as if it's already there in the present. I think those things certainly help because subconsciously it starts tuning me to move towards the future that I want to create for myself. So these are ways I have tried to work on deservability for myself.